Hello everyone. So this is Priyanka Deshmukh, and in today's episode is all about the very is going to be very special guest. It is the Pedro Moreira. So actually, Pedro is the founder of Let's Go Funnel and Funnel Coach. Pedro is a funnel designer with over 3 years of experience, and he has created hundreds of funnels and created helped dozens of business to get their funnels launched profitably. And he is a co-founder of funnel agency lab also. Then he helps coaches, consultant, and SaaS owners to get results through sales funnels. Also, he is helping aspiring funnel designers through his coaching programs. So today's episode is going to be very special with this special guest. So I just wanted to invite my special guest. Hello, Pedro.
Hello, can you
Hello,
hear me?
Pedro. Hi. Yes, yes. So thanks for joining today's interview and welcome to our show.
Thanks, it's a pleasure being here.
Okay. And I just wanted to mention here, those people who are watching it live, just comment below #live, and the people who are watching it will be replay. Just put #replay. And Pedro, first of all, I would like to again thank you for giving your precious time and for these 30 to 35 minutes to us. And today Pedro is going to share more of the strategies with you. Whatever the questions you guys will be, you can just mention those questions in the comment section. So Pedro, let's start with the today's session. And I want to ask you about your backstory, how you started and how did you enter into this particular funnel designing and funnel strategy, market as a funnel designer and funnel strategist.
All right, awesome. So, I've started like I don't know how long right now. I think like 10 years or so. But I've only started funnel building almost 5 years now. It's been for almost 5 years now, and everything started with my passion through design and communication. So I dived deep very early on. I've dived deep into Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, social media, and all those kinds of communication. Then from design, I started to focus more on the digital marketing kind of scenario where I could embrace my passion with design and put it in place it in terms more of digital marketing communication. With that, I've tried all kinds of niches. I tried social media management. I tried web design. I tried all kinds of web design actually. I tried email marketing. I tried a lot of things in traditional marketing as well. And when I mentioned I tried, I did it quite successfully. I always got great jobs and all that to practice what I love to do. And then there was one day where I was doing my research that I do all every day about digital marketing, and I found funnels. I found the terminology sales funnels. So they got my attention. So I started looking at that. I watched the webinar. It was a ClickFunnels webinar. That really got my attention. So I dive deep into that terminology and into funnel building, just to get to know a little bit more about that, just to learn that. I was not practicing it. I was just learning about that to see if I was going to devote my time to that or not. And 1 year later, that's exactly what I did. I left what I was doing previously. I was managing five different gyms, social medias. So I left what I was doing and focused 100% on funnel design. Just to make it short, after that, I got hired from an agency. One agency hired me. I was building funnels very, very quickly every single day. We were a very fast-paced agency. That got me the chance to learn a lot about funnel conversions, funnel strategies, funnel types, funnel mapping, every little thing, every little detail. And then I wanted a little bit more. 2 years later, I left that agency with no portfolio, no client, case studies, nothing, and started my Let's Go Funnels, which then I've grown that to be six figure. And then I started my coaching business around funnel business. So that's pretty much about it.
Okay, amazing, amazing. So I can relate with your story because I also before just entered into this funnel designing and funnel building part, I also explored a lot of way, and it's like finding our own voice. So I found that in particular into the funnel designing, and just started learning about that, and after that just you became my coach, and currently I am taking mentoring from you. That's also so. I just want to because there are so many marketers in there are so many funnel designers in the market. So I want to know what are the best strategies to market our services as a funnel builder.
Right. So the first thing I would say is before trying to market your services, you really want to know who you are, what's your main goal, what you want to achieve, and you want to understand your market. That's the first thing. And a lot of funnel builders actually don't even put it into the equation. You want to understand the market. You want to understand who you are helping and what kind of help can you deliver. That's the first thing. And only after you understand it fully, you can actually start creating good offers. So, how can you start knowing your market and all that, right? It's all about connecting with the right people. It's all about networking. It's all about doing research. It's all about watching all kinds of webinars from all niches, being in different seminars, being in connecting with different people. And that is a tedious job because it's a lot of research. Okay, but that's the only way.
Right.
You do interviews just like this one. You do interviews, you chat with other people, and you get to know by asking questions. You get to know the industry. So that will be the first thing. Get to know the industry. Get to know who you are and what you help and how you help people and how you help. And after that is really create a plan to penetrate the market. I mean,
Mhm.
just get noticed. You need to be there. Everyone needs to see you, to see that what you do, the quality that you have, and then start somewhere. Some people have the quality to start right away in the highest level. Some people need to start below. Whatever you are in that ladder, try to make as much noise as possible, so people actually hear you.
Right, right. So doing a market research and a proper research is very much useful. Whether it's you are at the beginner level or intermediate level or advanced level. So every day we have to do a lot of research related to those things. So you mentioned the very good point. And till so currently you are also spending your time on the research. How much time probably? Can you just tell about that?
Yeah, 100%. Research, I don't spend a day without doing research. And it's all kinds of research. It can be marketing strategy or marketing strategy research. It can be funnel mapping research. It can be niche research. It can be all kinds of research for the projects that I'm doing, right? So, how much time do I recommend people spending in that? It just depends on how much time do you have to spend, right? So, if you have
Right.
15 hours to work in a day, then you are going to spend much more time doing research than someone that has 2 or 3 or 4 hours per day. So but you want to spend a good portion. I would say like 10 or 20% of the time. I would say like 10% of the time should be doing research. So if you have 10 hours per day, one of those hours should be doing research. And if you have, just mathematics, so it's like you need to spend time doing the research, and you need to spend time allowing yourself to discover all kinds of things, to discover what is related. You start with one keyword and then just start gathering the crumbs, so then you can understand the holistic part of things.
Right, right, right. So research is very important, and whether it's in the funnel strategies, building the funnel strategies, or funnel designing, every part. So, what do you think? Basically, people ask about the. They think that designing the strategy is very much important, but design part is not that much important. What is your answer of you to that particular thing? Design is also important, or what do you think about that?
I think that every single little piece in terms of conceptualizing the project is important. That's why there's all kinds of specialities out there. There's people that the only thing they do is they specialize in understanding the user experience, the user interface, to increase as
Right.
much as possible the results from it. So all they do is they design concepts. That's very, very important. But then there's people that the only thing they do is they learn about the target audience, one specific target audience. They learn the keywords. They learn what drives them. They learn what makes them fearful, and they create copy. There's other people that the only thing they do is just offering. They just focus on how to create good offers so that businesses can flourish and can sell even more. So, in terms of what is the highest priority, I think everything is important. It's just the answer that you need to ask yourself is what is more important to you, because you need to balance what is
Right.
what is your priority, and you need to balance what you enjoy the most doing. Because I mean, you can think it about this way. Quantum physics is very, very important in this world, but are you going to spend time with quantum physics? Maybe not, right? Because we enjoy funnel building. So
Right.
inside funnel building,
Right.
copy is
Right.
important, offer is important, design is important, structure is important, every little thing is important, but what you enjoy the most. And then from there, you need to set a plan to make your project happen.
Nice, nice, amazing. You gave the amazing example of that quantum physics. I like that very much. So when it's related to the basically related to the building the strategies for our funnel. So what are the best strategies to market our services as a funnel builder? I think you just covered up that particular part. And what are the best way to get the high ticket client? Is there any
All
suggestions
right.
to related to that? Getting.
Yeah, obviously. So high ticket is high value. So you need to think about it in this way: like how much value can you put in a market, and how much credibility do you have, and so you can attract those people that are looking for high quality and high value. So what is the best strategy? The first thing is understanding that Rome was not built in a day. So you need to grow your personal brand, and you need to be aware of what matters in terms of funnel building. All right, in terms of growing an agency or growing a personal business or a freelancing business, which is results, communication skills, client management, personal brand, and lead generation. So, what is the best strategy? The first thing is remove yourself from the concept high ticket, because if you remove yourself from the concept high ticket, you are removing yourself from just thinking about the money, and it's not really about the money; it's about the value. So, high value clients, and try to focus on that. How can you become the best at delivering a specific result to a specific niche? How can you become the best at that? How can you become the best at, let's say, SaaS companies? They want to sell their softwares, right? How can you help them the
Right.
best way possible? How can you drive them to the best results? Or coaches, right? How can you help coaches get more clients or promote their services, etc.? How can you help e-commerce brands sell more of their products? And try to understand what is the path to becoming better at that. So that's the best strategy to get high ticket clients. The more value you provide, the more results you provide to people, the higher the problems you solve, the higher the value, and the easiest it is to sell a high ticket at 5,000, 10,000, $15,000 and beyond.
Amazing. So first we have to take care of whatever the value we are providing in exchange of that particular amount, whatever the amount we are charging. We have to give the if we are providing service to the high ticket client, that means we have to provide the high ticket I mean, not high ticket. We have to provide the premier service. It's like that only.
Yes.
The maths is like
Yeah.
that only, right? Okay, okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice, nice. So as So, as I want to know about that, when as a service provider, when I am crafting any offer related to my services, how can I craft that particular offer? And what are the things we have to take care of when we are crafting a offer as a service provider?
All right. So the first thing is knowing your audience. Who are you talking to, right? Who are you speaking to? After you know who you are speaking to, you need to understand what drives them, what do they want to achieve, what makes them um, thrive, and what makes them fearful, and what they have tried in the past that did not work, and all those kinds of things. Because only after that you are going to be able to know how to talk with your target audience. And when you have these details, you can pinpoint those pieces of information to then let your user know, that let your target audience know that you understand them and that you have the solution that is a perfect fit for them. Okay, so understanding the target audience is pretty much key. And when I say understanding, you need really to understand their business module. Understand the business module. What do they do?
Okay.
What they help them achieve? What have they tried in the past? What are the main goals? Right? And how can they grow? And after that, I mean, it's just about
Okay.
telling them the pieces of the puzzle that you have, and that it's going to help them achieve the goals that they need and they want.
Mhm. Okay. So, what is the best way you are using to find out whole their business, about their business? Is there any
All
particular
right.
way personally you are
The
following?
first the first thing is experience, feeling it in the first person, you know. So
Okay.
how can you get that? Well, you dive deep into that market, and don't overcharge, just undercharge. Try to try to work with as many people as possible in the shortest period of time as possible. Try to work with industry leaders and try to see what they do, why they do it, why they think that way. And that's the only possible way that you can really understand the market. So it's like, you need to be present. You need to ask them questions, try to think why and how they think, and you need to work as fast as possible, with as many people as possible, and most importantly with the thought leaders in that field, in that niche.
Okay, okay. Nice, nice. Amazing. So someone wants to ask you that how we can approach to cold audience about our funnel services. What will be your best strategies?
All right, so can you hear me?
Yes, yes. It's loud
Awesome.
and clear. Yeah.
Awesome. So, just like when we are creating an offer, we need to understand who we are going to target and who we are going to talk to. That's the first thing. So, when you are going to approach as a cold approach, you want to first do a little bit of research on the person that you are targeting. You want to know what they are
Okay.
doing, who they are helping, how they are helping, and then you want to know, all right, what is the first thing that I can help them, okay, to make their life easier in terms of helping more people and grow their businesses. That's the first thing. So what do you help your audience? Do you help them get more time so they can focus on the fulfillment, or do you help them get more money so they can profit more from their business and from their clients? That's one of the first things. And after that, you need to do the introduction. You need to let them know in a very easy way. You need to let them know who you are, what you do, who you help, the results that you've gotten in the past, if you have them. If you don't, work on getting those results. Even if you are working for free, doesn't matter. Go obtain those results. You want to create a plan where you are going to, at the end of the plan, you are going to extract those results, um, and showcase those results to those clients. And after that, you just let them know, hey, if you are interested, if this sounds good, let's schedule a 9 to 12 minute call, where we will be able to explore more about this idea, you know. And then follow up is really really key. So understanding who you are talking to, what you can help them with. Is it either obtain more time so they can fulfill, or help them get more money, and then introduce yourself so you get credibility, you get their curiosity, and you get their 9, 15, 20 minutes of their time.
Right, right. Amazing. So first we have to create a proper roadmap, and after that we have to create on our own case studies. Whether initially whether we are just charging them a low ticket, or we are just giving our services as a free. Right. First we have to work on our case studies, and after that we can showcase those results to our whatever the dream clients or whatever the customers we want to target. This is the approach
Yes.
in at the initial stage. Nice,
Yes,
nice. Thank.
people are driven with results. So if you have someone that says, "Hey, here's how I made $100,000 in a month," you're going to be like, "All right, I want to know more about this." It's the exact same thing with funnels. Here's how I help my client get an extra 300 leads in a month and sell over $60,000 of his services right away.
Okay. So
So
someone is
success is
asking, yes, yes. Actually, someone is asking, I approach them and they love my work. After that, they are not responding to hire my services. Is there any solution for this?
Yeah,
All.
that's very common. That's very common. One of the main things is that maybe they didn't really enjoy it. Maybe they didn't even like your work that much. And
Okay.
the reason why I say this is not to be harsh or to offend. I say this because I suffered from that specific thing a while back. So when I was trying to
Right.
go from charging $1,000 to then charging $3,000, I was trying to see what was the best strategy, and people kept saying you need to charge more, you need to charge more. But to charge more, you need to know how to talk in that level. You need to know how to deliver, how to sell in that level. It's easy to sell something for $50, but maybe if you are trying to sell that same thing for 5,000, you need a different set of skills. So what was happening back then was people were telling me, because they wanted to be polite, they were telling me, "Pedro, that's exactly what I need. I love your work. How do I get started?" And then they ghosted me. You know, these happen over and over and over until I truly found the reason why. I fixed it, and then I started getting a lot more yeses than I was getting. And one of the main things was they didn't resonate with what I was saying. They didn't believe in me. They didn't believe in the work I was providing was getting them results. And they just kindly said, "Pedro, I love it. I love it. How it gets started." And then they ghost me the next minute, you know? So if they are ghosting you often, try to go back and see your messaging and try to feel like, all right, if I was in the other person's shoes, would I like to be approached this way? Would I like to have this offer? Is this the exact same, is the exact offer that I would be looking for, and for the price I will be willing to pay? Try to get the answer for these things and try to test different approaches in as many calls as you want. So I would say, before you raise your prices, before you do any other thing, focus on getting as many calls as possible in the next 30, like in the next 30 days, and be really, really careful and be really, really aware of what you are saying, how they are responding, and is your offer the best offer you can deliver.
Okay, means one thing is self analysis, and the second thing is we have to approach as many as people we can, right? We have to whatever the sales calls we are just wanted to give them. We have to create more, we have to approach to as many people as can, and the second thing is self analysis.
Yeah, that's one of practice. You need practice and you need to analyze. Have I done properly or not? One of the things that top salesmen do is they have charts for everything. For how many calls they got, how many they closed, and all those different things in terms of inside the calls. What were the kind of closes that work best and strategies that work best? So you need to do something similar. I'm not saying that you need to be very, very meticulous, but you need to start somewhere. And one of the things that I did was
Right.
I started recording my calls and I started listening to my calls with my eyes closed to try to see if I was persuasive enough, if I was confident enough, or if I was afraid, if I was, for example, one of the things that I detect every single time with my coaching students is when they try to raise their prices, or when they try to charge something that they are not used to, they say, "Yeah, it's going to be $3,000. It's like they are shy about that number. They are not confident about the number. Yeah, it's gonna be $3,000. Instead of saying, yeah, the only thing that is gonna be is like you all need to invest $3,000. Sounds good. It's like
Right.
it's completely different, and you need to be aware of these little things and details, and then practice, be comfortable with that, and believe that you are worth whatever you are charging. Because if you don't believe it, you are never going to sell. And that was one another bottleneck that I had back then when I was trying to raise my prices. Was I did not believe in my copywriting skills. So I was trying to sell something for $3,000 that I felt was worth 500 because my design was amazing, my strategy was great, but my copy was not like perfect. So once I fixed the copy, I started selling $3, $4, $5,000 deals much faster.
Okay, okay. Got it, got it. Nice, nice. So, again, I want to ask, means I ask related to the offer creation only. So,
Yeah.
how can we create the unique and converting offers, which will help us to stand out from the competition? So, it's related to
Yeah.
the offer part. Mhm.
That's good. The first thing is you want to know in what level you are in. So if
Okay,
you are targeting high level, you need a different offer. If you are doing
right,
cheaper end work, technical work or design work, you need a different offer because it's just differently in terms of promoting it. So if you are just doing designs or integrations or stuff like that, you need to know what your target audience is looking for, how much money are they expecting to charge or to pay, and you need a portfolio that is good, and you need efficiency. You
right,
need to be fast. So when you know this, you are going to say and mention to people, hey, I do this for this amount of money. I usually get these kinds of results, and then you send them what they are looking for, which is the quality of your work. You send them the quality. If you like what you see, let's have a talk, a chat. That's that simple. Then it's just being persistent and consistent with that same narrative. Now, if you are going for a work of 2,000, 3,000, 5, 10,000, then you need something else because it's not just a fast exchange. There's much more variables involved. So there's metrics involved, there's results, there's expenses, there's credibility, there's your experience, your portfolio, your case studies. There's all those things, and you need to be prepared to have those. So if you are going to target and try to sell your $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 funnels, you better have confidence on your service. You better have one or two case studies of good results that you can show people, and you better know what they are looking for and exactly how you are going to make your offer sound good. So one example is when someone is looking for a funnel, you want to create a narrative that is going to look as simple as possible. That's one of the keys, and one of the things that I teach is you want to make your offer look as simple as possible, but really high value. You are going to solve a very big problem in a very nice and fast way, like it's going to be effortless for the client, because the client ultimately is going to purchase something that looks less risky.
right,
So
right,
that's one of the things. How to build an offer. Know what level you are targeting. If you are targeting just design or technical aspects, I mean, you just move very fast. You have one portfolio, look for the clients, send them proposals, be consistent with promoting your work and showcasing your work, build credibility. That's it. If you are working for something more high end, then you need more credibility that you needed in the level before. You need a good portfolio. You need consistency as well, and you need to make your offer look as low risk as possible. And then they need to look fancy, and that solves their problem.
amazing, amazing. So, well, see, offers should be simple, and whatever the simple offers are, that are the converting offers, because people don't
Yes.
want the much more headache to their. That is the simple term. So they want
Yeah.
whatever the simple things, and they want to go for the simple approach and result oriented. So that is the
Yeah.
main thing when we are going for the offer creation. So as a funnel designer or as a funnel builder, should we have to suggest some offer, some tips related to the offer also with our client. uh,
Yeah.
we have to
Yeah.
help them. Mhm.
You need to diagnose, you need to ask the proper questions to see where they are, what they are doing, and what they are doing wrong. And then you need to
Okay.
tell them, hey, from everything that you just said, this is going to be the fix for that. And the reason why is because this, and then you need to be
Okay.
aware of what they are saying, if they are understanding it or not. And if they are understanding, that's one step closer to making the sell. If they don't
Right.
understand, you need to make sure that they understand, because a confused mind is never going to buy, as you probably
Right.
heard.
Right.
So,
Right. Right.
by asking questions and telling them the solution is this, and then you ask them, does it sound like something that you like, or do you believe in that approach, or what you think? And then they are gonna. You need to look for what they truly think. If they say something
Mhm.
like, "Yeah, awesome, let's do it. How can we start?"
Mhm.
Probably they are just ditching you. They just want to get off the call or the chat, because a lot of the times people need more questions. They have more worries. They need to be clarified more. So you need to look into those things. And after you get, and just another pro tip here, try to look for the phrases that they use frequently. What do they value a lot? So, for example, in most of my calls, a lot of people have something specific they truly believe in. It can be email, it can be funnel step, it can be um, I don't know, all kinds of different things that people may believe. And when they repeat one word or keyword often, then you use that. You use that in your advantage, because they really care about it. So you just need to use it in a way that makes sense, the solution that you are providing. So that will be one of the things.
Amazing. This is the golden nugget of this particular episode. So we have to use whatever the terms they are using. Means we have to speak their language into their
Yeah.
language only. This is the thing. Nice,
Yeah.
nice, amazing. Mhm.
Just make sure that it is true, right? So you are not saying,
Right,
you are not going to lie to the client, right? But that's why you need to be aware of those things. And when you detect that word and that thing that they really really are worried about it, then you use it in your advantage, and you make everything sound much easier for the client. They understand, they feel comfortable, the solution is right for them. Now it's just a matter of the deliverability. So
right,
you let them know how long it's going to take, how easy or hard it's going to be, what you need from them. And when you make sure that when you are saying what you need from them, make sure that you may have like a 25 bullet point list, but don't tell them that. Just tell them you have
right.
a short form spreadsheet they are going to fill, but once that is filled, then your team is going to take in, going to take care of your everything, So again, make it as easy as possible, without lying to your client, obviously. Use the things that they believe in your favor. And if for some reason they are saying, which happens sometimes, but if some reason they are using something that it's not the right solution, acknowledge that and let them know why they want to approach this in a different way. And then um, try to find a way to make it reasonable to try with lowering the risk. I do this all the time, and usually it gets a lot of acceptance.
Okay. So just being authentic, whatever we are, and just whatever we are going to provide to them. That
Yeah,
is
be
the thing.
comfortable with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is the main thing. So I just wanted to ask you related to the content creation part. When we are creating any content, whether to put it on the Facebook or YouTube, it's related to how we can create the evergreen content.
Right. So evergreen content usually is around um, the the how can I say this, like the broad topics, so funnels, sales funnels, so instead of talking about something very specific, a specific software, or a specific metric, or a specific strategy, you talk something more broad that is going to make sense for everyone else to be introduced to the topic, that is going to be the hook. And then from there you go more specific and you drive people towards your your other pages, your groups, your lead magnets, whatever you want, or whatever you have to educate your audience. So evergreen content is are mainly things that are broad, that pinpoint a couple of things: a strategy, or a strategy, a niche, and a solution. That's it.
Okay, okay. Amazing, amazing. And what are the visibility part means how we can create more visibility on any particular platform through our content?
Be be everywhere, like literally be everywhere.
Okay, okay,
Be in Facebook groups, communicating with everyone, being in YouTube channels, communicating, commenting in their channels, be in forums, help people in the forums, create constant content. Like you can do like one video per week, two videos per week, whatever you want. If you are in a higher demand platform such as TikTok or Instagram or whatever, you want to follow the pace, so you want to do two short form videos per day or three per day, but you want to find a plan that you can fit everything in your schedule. So if you can't, then you need to reduce the amount of work, but be consistent. So it's better to be consistent than try to make like 30 videos in a day and then you pause for another 30, so it's better to be consistent, and be everywhere. Don't be afraid of exposure. Don't be afraid of sharing what you think, your opinions. Don't be afraid of communicating with other people, adding other people, because if you are, your progress is going to be very, very slow, and you are going to take like five times as much time, even if you get there.
right, right. So thank you for sharing this particular tip, because people are just going for one particular platform and they just are focusing on that particular platform to grow. And after that, once they get something from that particular platform, then they think about the starting on the new platform. So
Yeah.
this thing I have done in the previous, but currently I also using that particular approach which you shared currently. So and
Exactly.
how we can stand out means there are people who are just sharing value type of post. So and there are different type of post, like authority post type. So how can we create that type of content?
Right. So um, there's various types of content, as you mentioned, right? So you want to make sure that you follow a structure that works. So you have a good hook to get their curiosity. You have a good bridge to go from the hook to the topic, and then there's various ways that you can do it. You can be controversial, which gets a lot of people fired up and communicating and all that. You can be data driven, where you share a lot of data around something that you're talking about. You can be sharing and documenting your experience. For example, something that worked for me or something that did not work for me,
Oh,
both ways, positive and negative. You can share them. You can share a little bit of your personal life, or if you want to, if you feel comfortable with that. People love that because it's a human connection. So people like that. So like 10% of the content could be personal. So it's a matter of knowing your craft, knowing what you're saying, documenting the progress, and talking your prospects, talking towards your prospects, towards your clients, your target audience, understanding what they worry, what they desire, what's their goals, what's their fears, and finding solutions towards that. That's one way.
okay. So it's again going to start with research only. So we have to do a lot of research related to
Everything is
our
research.
everything. Right, right,
Everything.
right. Hmm.
School is research every single time. If you want to pass your exam, what you need to provide the right answers. If like your our mother language is research as well. It's like you need to know how to talk within that language: Portuguese, English, Spanish, French, whatever it is.
Right,
If you don't talk the same language, you are not going to build rapport. So if you want your content to be effective, you first need to research who you are talking to, and
right.
understanding their pain points, their desires, and from that, just elaborate and try to get an opinion about that, um, and communicate with people about that.
Right, right, right. Yeah. So, and I maybe most of us know about your funnel agency lab that you Scott and Guston have started funnel agency lab. So I just want to know more about that. What is that particularly for funnel agency lab, and how that helping people?
Right. So Funnel Agency Lab is for everyone that is looking to get past those $10,000 per month. They are looking to get an offer that works. They are looking to get a strategy that gets you leads every single month. They are looking for a way to be more confident selling. They are looking basically to break free and create an agency that then can expand and scale. That's pretty much about it. That's a high ticket coaching program, a 6 month coaching program with a lot of support, the best support I've seen so far everywhere. And you are going to get the best information, up to date information that works. Our students are getting pretty good results. But it's a high ticket program, so it's for everyone. There is probably, or even have a little bit of savings, or are doing something around $2,000 per month or $3,000 per month, and they want to get those 10, 15, $20,000 per month. For everyone that there is not yet or is not there yet, they are doing lower, or they haven't made $3,000 or whatever. They have other kinds of products. They have my design workshop, for example. They have digital courses, for example. But the Funnel Agency Lab is something that is really focused on obtaining results, creating a good plan for you in the mid to long term to start getting what everyone wants, which is financial freedom and growing the business.
Okay, okay, amazing, amazing. So, definitely, I'm going to join that particular program. But before that, I want to make sure that I want to give that particular program gift to myself on my birthday. So I just reserved that particular timing for that, and just wanted to go for that. So, and one thing I just wanted to know from you, that is the what is your best piece of advice the people who are starting newly starting into the funnel designing?
Right. So first thing would be funnel design. What do you like most to do, right? Do you like to write or do you like to design? If you like to write, then focus on writing as many pieces of content as possible. Read all the emails that you can find from top level experts. Join all their email lists. Read the emails every single day and understand the patterns. Then read the sales pages, watch the webinars, and not as a consumer, but as a content creator, as a copywriter. Design, you like to build. Then what you want to do is the exact same formula, but for design. So you want to follow as many designers as possible. Be friends with them. Try to see their portfolios. Try to examine how they are building, why they are building that way, the colors they use. Educate yourself on that matter. If there's courses out there that already have everything outlined, don't lose time going for like trial and error. Purchase those courses, but really study them, get the most out of those, and then build and build and build and build. Because practice in terms of everything, but practice in terms of design is going to be one of the main things. And share your progress. So if right now you are really bad, doesn't matter. Share your progress. In a month or 2 months, you're going to be much better. And then you're going to see like, wow, I've progressed. Like I'm way, way better. And people are going to feel that as well. So what do I recommend? Start with designing, understanding the editors that you are building. That's the first thing. Then go for strategy. What makes sense? What kind of structure do you use? Um, Funnel sequences, understand that. Then next thing will be automations. Understand how can you automate the processes. How can you make a funnel fully automated? Zapier, active campaign, or other emails. I don't know, like sales message. All those little different softwares. How can you make the progress much, much faster? How can you organize the information? How can you get the data? With tracking codes, with Google Analytics, with tags and all those things. And then as you progress, be really, really focused on a goal, and try not to diversify too much, because there's a lot of, and this is really important, there's a lot of marketers out there and people trying to get our attention. And social media, every the social media platforms is built to get our attention. So be
Yeah.
really focused and driven on a specific goal, and only rest when you get there. So if you want to design better, ignore copy, ignore automations, ignore email, ignore all those things. It doesn't matter. Focus on design only. Be better at design. Then when you are good at it, you want to be good at automation, focus on automation. Learn, purchase more courses, learn all kinds of automations, explore different software, ask people what kind of software they are using, and then learn that. Forget about another design course, another social media course, another lead generation course, whatever, doesn't matter. Focus on one specific thing. Only then you are going to progress faster. Because if you don't do this, if you try to do like gather 3 or 4 skills at the same time, copywriting, Facebook ads, etc., 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 it's going to be like 6 months from now, a year from now, you're going to be exact same place that you are right now. The other day, just to finish here, the other day I was chatting with a friend of mine, and he was like, um, Pedro, I'm still doing the exact same thing I was doing a year ago. I was like, yeah, you just got lost, man. I mean, you are trying to do every single thing at the same time.
Mm.
You just
Right.
got lost. You are not going to make it like that. I mean, I'm just being a friend. I'm being true. You need to focus on the things that move the needle. And one of the things that move the needle is understanding the industry. For him, is understanding the industry. He's sharing content every single day, but that content sucks. It doesn't do the trick. It's like,
Right.
why? Because it doesn't understand the industry. So before you want to do
Mm.
content, understand the industry and try to understand it as you produce content. Same thing as funnel design. Try to understand what makes a good design or what doesn't make a good design. You can use a design with a lot of detail that doesn't distract the user, and you can use a design with very little detail that distracts the user. So that's pretty much about it. Focus on one thing. Try to see who's the best at teaching that, and then see if you can invest. If you can invest, go all in.
Okay, okay, amazing, amazing. This is the best tip for the beginners, because if I'm feeling that if I got these particular tips in my initial days, so till the time I was into the deep dive into this particular industry. So thank you, Pedro, for sharing this particular tips and all the strategies with us. So recently I started one rapid fire round, and I just want to go for that. So are you ready for that?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
So recently, I started one rapid fire round, and in that particular rapid fire round, there will be the only 5 questions, and you just have to
Yeah.
give answer within 1 or 2 lines only. So, are you ready
Okay.
for that?
100%. Let's go.
Yes. So, I just want to know about the three best books related to the sales funnels.
Okay. So expert secrets. You
First one.
have I just forgot about that other one, but you have this other one here, .com secrets as well.
Doc.
You know,
Yes. Yes.
and then you have a very good book from Dan Harry that talks about sales funnels as well. You should definitely get that one as well. Don't recall the title though. I'm very bad at titles.
Okay. So you just tell me that particular name. I will put into the comment section. The people who want that particular book. Okay.
Yeah, for
So
sure. I
the
can say it.
yes, the second question is three top funnel strategies to follow.
That's a little bit hard, but I mean, you can follow Frank Kern. You can follow um,
Franca.
Dan Harry is good as well for agencies, but you can follow Russell Brunson, obviously. And then you have so many different top marketers that I think that there's no one for the third slot. Very, very fast. I would say market research. I mean, go ahead, go check everyone else's funnels and try to get what they work and why they work. Right. So then it would be Dan Henry, Russell Brunson, Frank Kern, but then research everyone else's funnels as well.
Amazing, amazing. So the your favorite social media platform is?
For business, LinkedIn and Facebook.
Okay.
For promotion, TikTok and YouTube.
Okay, okay. So, and what about Instagram? Are you also
I don't love it.
means
I think it's a waste of time, but some people love it.
okay,
I don't. I've never liked it. Instagram.
okay, okay.
Never.
Got that, got that. So actually, we go for mostly Indians go for the Insta reels and YouTube Shorts because TikTok is banned here in
Yeah.
India. That's
Yeah.
why. Hmm.
YouTube Shorts is amazing.
Yes, yes. So, and one thing is one quick tip for the aspiring funnel builders. What
Quick
is that
tip:
particular one tip? Yes, one quick tip.
don't expect a lot of growth right away. Don't expect a lot of growth right away. Learn as much as possible. That will be it. Don't expect immediate return. Grow as much as possible and try to deliver as much as possible.
Yeah, this is the amazing tip. And one thing is describe sales funnels in one word. I know that this is very hard to describe sales funnel in one word, but I want that particular term.
Sales funnels in one word. It's a solution.
Amazing. So this is the simple solution, right?
Yeah,
So
solution. It's like can be
hmm,
lead generation, can be money, can be whatever it is. It's just a solution for an end. You know, what I mean,
amazing, amazing. So Pedro, the thank you. I just wanna thank you for coming on this particular interview show and spending this much time with us and sharing all the answers of our question and audience question also. So guys,
yeah.
if you want to follow the Pedro, I will mention his credential. Sorry, not. I will mention his links, all the links, his Facebook group link and his profile link in the comment section. And if you guys having any question, you can just mention those questions in the comment section, and Pedro or I will answer those questions. So Pedro, just I will just come up within 2 minutes. I will just wrap up here. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So guys, this was the amazing session. I think you all got the a lot of values from today's session, and Pedro explained all the things in very easy and good way. So guys, if you are I will just going to mention his all the links. If you want to follow him or having any question, you can just mention into the comment section. And one thing, this is for the next episode. For next episode, I'm again going to invite you a very special guest, and I'm just approaching that particular guest. So stay tuned. I will mention the details for next episode on my Facebook profile itself. So thank you so much.